Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. I've got a few new things to show you today and a really cool technique that I sort of happened upon as I was playing around with this folder. This is a set of two. They are not the 3D, they're just regular embossing folders, a set of two. They're like 3 inches by 6 inches each. This one, of course, I love this one. It's called Glass and Gardens Embossing Folder. It is online, it's not in a catalog, so you gotta look online or at least keep tuning in here so that I can show you all the new things online that aren't in a catalog. But it's available now. Set of two come in this, and then there's also some cool paper called the Flower and Garden Foils. If you participated in my paper shares, you would have gotten a piece, a 6x6 piece of these in your paper share, which by the way, everybody should have gotten their shares by now. So if you joined and did not get it yet, please let me know and I will check the tracking, but everybody's has been mailed out. So it is, it's got 3 different colors on here. It says cloud cover and it kind of is, but it's also silver. And then Pretty in Pink, which is really kind of rosy. And then Strawberry Slush, which has a lot of red in it. So, but there's 6 sheets and there's 3 florals and then 3 of this pattern. Let's see if you can see. Let me try it in the red. Here. Oh, the shine. It is a foil. See it? It's kind of got like a geometric nice pattern. So I was playing around with the floral and I embossed a piece of the Strawberry Slush. And it's very, very pretty, obviously. It's a nice piece. My idea was to, make a nice strip on a card. And I embossed this one that has like the finer texture to it. So it's there, but just kind of faintly. And I thought, well, it looks like it's white on the back. So let's sand it and see what happens with that. So if we sand it, this is just a very fine grit sanding block I got at the grocery store in the nails department. So if you don't want this to get too scratched up, try to keep it nice and flat. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this, so we could do the same thing with the two-tone cardstock and anything that has a white center. So it was right about this point, I thought, well, that's cool, but what if I could add a little bit of color in here? So I grabbed my alcohol markers. This one is the Misty Moonlight, the dark one. And I started to color in here, and I realized that it was taking off the top color, the red color, the Strawberry Slush color. And I realized that it removed, and there was silver underneath. So I thought, well, these are alcohol markers, so we could really do the same thing with regular alcohol, like the regular 70%, and that did work really well too. So I poured a little bit in my cap, and I have some of these old blender pens that have dried out, and I use them for different things like bleach or alcohol or whatever. And I thought, well, would that work to remove the color? And it does. It makes it so you see the silver kind of beneath it, like that. And then I thought, well, we could do that, but we also have our color lifter, which is alcohol marker, but it's just clear. And we use this to remove color. I said, well, gee, why don't we use that? And that worked really well, and you could really get into all of the corners of that. And then if I took like a Q-tip, I can just get off the excess. But this guy works great for getting off anything that's in the little tiny corners that like a Q-tip or something won't get to. See how it just, I don't know if you can see that, but it really just removes. You can kind of see it'll come off here and it'll go clear again. It won't ruin your marker. And then you can pull off that color, which kind of gives it like a whole new look, right? So whether you do it with a Q-tip, you got to be careful with a Q-tip that you don't drip. If you drip or use too much, then you can't put that color back in there. So just be careful with that. But the Q-tip method with the rubbing alcohol works great to remove that color. Now, not all colors of foil work the same. In this pack, they all do. Like you see here, this is the pink one, and it turned it pink and silver. So, but some foils react differently. Like the brushed gold didn't have any reaction with the alcohol whatsoever, but all of these do. So you just play around with the ones that you have. So I went through and I removed the color from several of the flowers, and then I got this. I hope you can see it because of the shine, but I got these little guys all silver, took the color off of these, so I lifted the color to, I'm going to call it the color lifter foil technique, or color lifting, but I just chose a few of the flowers to do that. So sanding it makes a huge difference, and then being able to remove that color and show the silver beneath it really looks great. And if you wanted to, once you remove the color, you might be able to color again with your blender pens, but your markers, but I was not as successful with that. I felt like they ended up just pulling the color back off again. But I really like making some of these silver, and it's kind of fun to do. It's like not having to think about coloring it. You're just sort of taking the color off, which has its own relaxing benefits. So, and even on these small ones, you'll find once you get a little bit of that rubbing alcohol on there and then it sits for just a few seconds, it comes right off. So it's really fun. Now, out of the papers here, the silver that I have along the sides, that I used these 2 1-inch strips from the silver. So I wanted it to really pop. So again, with the sanding block on these, just take off all the embossed areas that are silver and make them white. And it's so pretty. It just really makes that stand out. So for the card, I had a navy base. I added a white layer behind it. And then I added these 2 silver on the outsides, like that, and then added that on the card. And then these dies, these are an old set, the old die set that's still current, Unbounded Love. And they're great because when they cut out, you get 2 pieces like this. So you can have white on the inside and a color on the outside, which is what I did on this one. And I chose to do red because the blue almost looked too stark. So I did some more of the foil. And then the stamp set is a great new stamp set that's out now. It's called The Right Words. I think I mentioned it before, but it's really a good set. It's got, I wish I had the right words for a time like this, but just know how much I love and care about you. Thinking of you a lot. You're so kind, sending good vibes. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Happy birthday. This one, hoping the loss you feel right now will be eased by wonderful memories. Thinking of you, forever loved, forever remembered. I miss you already. I really don't like that you're leaving, but I hope you love where you're going. I know a good thing when I see it, and I see a lot of good things in you. So it's a nice set. I've used it quite a bit already. And then on the inside, I added a little ribbon, added a few rhinestones, and then on the inside, I embossed the white, because it's so pretty, white on white, that folder. Can you see that? I hope you can. Right there with a little bit of that silver peeking through. This is another die that comes in the Unbounded Love. So they cut in 2 pieces, so you can cut the blue and the white together, and then you'll get this interior piece and then this blue frame around it. So it's a nice set. Anyway, I hope you give this a try. This foil, the Flower Garden foils, I'll link to those. They're 12 by 12. There are 6 sheets of the different colors and designs all together, and they're $10 for the pack with the 6 sheets in there. And they're really fun to play with. If you're feeling technique-y, I hope you give it a try because it is kind of cool. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.